Welcome in this session where we wish to focus on information sources, which is a very important element of information literacy. So information is everywhere and the world revolves around it. And it's defined as all ideas, facts, and imaginative works of the mind that have been communicated, recorded, and published. So there is a lot of information that has been published. And as a good academic writer, you need to know how to find information to support your arguments. Because without ideas, without a published, um, you know, um, um, arguments, it will be difficult for you to do research. As we said last time, theoretical framework is a very important area of research, and all these we will find it through published works. We also have literature review or empirical review, which is also found in published works. So information literacy is very important, and this is the ability to appropriately interact with information such as articulating in information need, gaining access to the needed information, and evaluating the information effectively to get the right sources to back up your argument. So information literacy is therefore being able to know where you need information to answer a question or perform a task. So not all sources, as we said, are credible. So what's the importance of information literacy? One, it enables us to understand how to locate and use information effectively for writing term papers, carrying out research, and participating in academic discourses. So for you to locate, these particular sources, they cannot just be found anywhere. You need to have the ability to locate them in the library or in the databases for you to be able to do your research. Number two, critically evaluate the credibility. It enables you to critically evaluate the credibility, relevance, and reliability of information. And not every information is reliable or credible. You need sources that are reputable, sources that have gone through quality controls, and sources that are relevant. Yeah, it also enables you to access accurate and relevant information and make better decisions in your personal and professional life. So we need information which is relevant to your area. If you're doing research in software engineering, you are doing research in literature, research in history, you need to find relevant information. But when you go on these databases, you just find a mix, you just find a mosaic of all information which may not be relevant to your area. So you need information literacy to locate the right information or relevant information for your personal, professional need, and then to foster a culture of lifelong learning. Information literature enables you to know that learning does not end. Your ability to reach out to Google Scholar, ability to reach out to MyLoft, ability to reach out to Google, ability to reach out to MySBScore, all these, enable you to learn continuously, that you don't need to sit in a library somewhere in a special institution for you to learn. You can learn with your phone in your hostel, you can learn right on your phone in your bedroom. And so this is a lifelong learning that we need, especially in these competence-based curriculum. It helps you to responsibly use digital tools, yeah, respect intellectual property, and appreciate ethnic implications of information use. So digital tools, yeah, how to use your laptop, how to use your phone, and how to use internet to locate these sources. This is an aspect of information literacy that you need. And also respect for intellectual property, that anytime you cite a source, cite Hall 1982, you need to cite the source because that is his intellectual property to combat misinformation, disinformation, and fake news by distinguishing between information and falsehood. So, information literacy enables you to know fake news, credible sources, and fake or counterfeit sources. It also enables you to fully participate in society by engaging in social, political, and economic activities. By going online and getting the right sources, you should know it enables you to know the right sources to cite. For example, credible information can only be found on mainstream media. You cannot just pick a source on Facebook and go around peddling it unless it is a Facebook page of mainstream media. So these are very important area for academic success. So information organization. So how is information organized? Information classification and document description and indexing is very important. For example, in libraries, books are organized according to internationally recognized classification systems, such as the LLC, or the Library of Congress classification, and the Dewey Decimal classification. For example, in Murang'a University of Technology Library and other libraries in Kenya, information is organized according to this LCC, where subjects are grouped in 21 major groups, 21 major groups. And these groups include A, we have general works, B, philosophy, psychology and religion, C, we have auxiliary sciences or history, D, world history, E, history of the Americas, F, history of the Americas, G, geography, anthropology, recreation, H, social sciences, J, political science, L, and then K, law, L, education, M, music and books on music, N, fine arts, P, language and literature, Q, science, and then R, medicine, S, agriculture, T, technology, U, military science, V, naval science, Z, bibliography, library science, and information resources. Then on these books, we have what we call numbers. These are numbers that enable you to locate a book. For example, we have a call number here. How do you read it? We have LB 2395, C65, and then 1991. So the first two represent the subject of the book. Yeah. First to print the subject of the book, that is L. Then the third line, C. This 5 represents the author's name. The last line represents the year of publication. So through that, you are able to locate your book. Then we have types of information sources. There are three major types of information sources. One, we have primary sources. These are original works produced by authors. That's why they're called primary. These are journal articles. When I write an article on a certain topic, if I decide to write an article about Pan-Africanism in Americana by Adichie. If I write this article and it is published by a serious journal, then it means it's an original work because it goes through all the stages, quality controls read by peers to determine the originality. A thesis is an argument supported by evidence, and mostly theses are written at master's and PhD level, and they actually have original information. Dissertation is just a thesis, but in American English. Then you have government reports. These are original because the government commissions a report and it goes out through research and verification. Proceedings from conferences. Conferences present original research, and these ones are very original artworks, photographs, poems, works of fiction like novels. These are original sources of information, interviews, diaries, autobiographies. These are original sources. Then we have what we call secondary sources of information. They analyze, describe, summarize, interpret, and reorganize primary sources. So you have a book review on Adichie's Americana. That is a secondary source. When you have a book review on one of my academic books, then that is a secondary, it's not primary, it's a secondary source because it explains the original source. Literary criticism is basically also a secondary because it focuses on a primary text. It describes a primary text. Then you have tertiary sources of information. Uh, these include indices, abstracts, and other secondary sources that provide factual information such as dictionaries, encyclopedia, and fact books. Yeah, so an index is usually found behind a book to tell us, the major themes that have been discussed in the book and the pages where it is indicated. An abstract is an executive summary of a study. It tells you majorly what a study is about, and it becomes at the beginning of a study. So this is a tertiary source. Tertiary source because um, as much as it gives information, a researcher has to read the article itself or the thesis itself to get original information. So these are information sources, and as I've said, this is a very, very important skill which all of us need. Information literacy is very important, and at this point, I want to thank you so much for listening, uh, listening. Um, for listening to me, to thank you so much for listening to me, and and I encourage you to continue in this to acquire new knowledge, information literacy, which is very much related to academic writing. Encourage you to subscribe to the channel to get original content whenever it's uploaded on academic writing and information literacy. Thank you.